Standing only 5 feet 7.5 inches tall and weighs 132 pounds, Bruce Lee is considered among many as the greatest martial artist of the 20th century. He is an innovator and an inspiration. Bruce Lee is a name which attracts admiration from all over the world. Audience appreciation exceed culture boundaries has resulted the creation of one of the most notable martial art icons in the history of motion pictures. Bruce Lee was born on November 27, 1940 in San Francisco, California. He was a child actor in Hong Kong who later returned to the US and taught martial arts. He starred in the TV series The Green Hornet and became a major box office hit in The Chinese Connection and Fist of Fury. Shortly before the release of his film Enter the Dragon, he died at the age of 32 on July 20, 1973. As a teenager, he was taunted by the British students for his Chinese background and later joined a street gang. In 1953, he began to sharpen his passion into a discipline and he started studying Kung Fu under the instruction of Master Yip Man. After learning Kung Fu himself, he created Jeet Kune Do, a fighting style heavily influenced by the philosophy of martial artist Bruce Lee. Jeet Kune Do is originated in 1967. After filming one season of The Green Hornet, Lee found himself out of work and opened the Jun Fang Institute of Kung Fu. The controversial match with Wong Jackman influenced Lee's philosophy about martial arts. Lee concluded that the fight had lasted too long and he had failed to live up his potential using the Wing Chun techniques. He took the view that traditional martial arts techniques were too rigid and formalistic. Lee decided to develop a system himself with emphasis on practicality, flexibility, speed, and efficiency. He started to use different methods of training, such as weight training for strength, running for endurance, stretching for flexibility, and many others which he constantly adapted, including fencing and basic boxing techniques. Lee emphasized what he called style of no style. This consisted of getting rid of the formalized approach, which Lee claimed was indicative of traditional style. Lee felt that the system he called now Jun Fang Kung Fu was even too restrictive, and eventually evolved into a philosophy and martial art he would become Jeet Kune Do. It is a term who later he regret because Jeet Kune Do implied specific perimeters the styles connote, whereas the idea of martial art was to exist outside the perimeter and limitation.
So styles tends to not only separate men, because they have their own doctrines, and then the doctrine became the gospel truth, that you cannot change, But if you do not have styles, if you just say, well, here I am, as a human being, how can I express myself totally and completely? Now, that way, you won't create a style, because style is a crystallization, that way, it's a process of continuing growth. First, we use the feet. And then we use the elbow. In fighting, there is a finger jab, there is a punch, there is a back fist, and the side kick. It depends on where you hit. Name it, man. We
use it all.
You have to, you see, because, that is the expression of the human body. Everything, not just the hand. And when you're talking about combat, well, if if it is a sport, now you're talking about something else. You have regulations, you have rules. But when you're talking about fighting as it is,
rules.
with no rules,
real fighting.
well then, baby, you better train every part of your body. A good martial artist is like water. Why? Because water is insubstantial. By that I mean you cannot grasp hold of it. You cannot punch it and hurt it. So be soft like water and flexible. Be formless, shapeless, like water. Now you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend.
Lee has certainly influenced modern mixed martial art. All credits attached to the name of Bruce Lee. One of the bolder claims made in the documentary I Am Bruce Lee is that he is the father of mixed martial art, or MMA. Lee fighting philosophies are on display in cages around the world. Fighters who were born many years after his death idolize him nonetheless and credit him with shaping them as athletes. The best fighter is not a boxer, karate, or a judo man, Lee once said. The best fighter is someone who can adapt to any style. He kicks too good for a boxer, throws too good for a karate man, and punches too good for a judo man, as Lee said. Trainer and an Octagon MMA fighter, Mr. Yafrian, who has been doing the sport for more than 10 years.
Bruce Lee adalah seorang tokoh legenda kungfu yang sangat mendunia ya. Dia seorang legenda yang menginspirasi buat kita semua. Dia mempunyai karakter yang unik, ya. Dia mempunyai karisma. Dia legenda terbaik kungfu yang ada di dunia ini. Menurut saya, Bruce Lee seorang yang tidak takut akan perubahan. Pernah waktu itu dia menciptakan suatu perubahan di mana sang gurunya pun menolak keras dengan perubahan tersebut. Tapi dia bisa membuktikan bahwa perubahan itu sangat baik. Maka dari itu dia menginspirasi buat kita semua. Kita harus berubah lebih baik lagi dari sebelumnya.
In the end, to conclude the magnificence and the inspiring charisma of Bruce Lee, we believe that Bruce Lee will always forever be someone to be sought out by athletes. And more than athlete, people also can see Bruce Lee as one of the modern day influence of change, as he himself believed that change is not always bad. In fact, change itself can bring good things to not only sport, but also the greater things in life. We tribute this video for the legendary martial artist who bring change to the world, Bruce